Who would have thought that this big maid is usually gentle and considerate towards the male lead, but becomes more brutal than anyone else when provoked, just because this demon wants to tear the male lead apart, unaware that she has already opened Pandora's box. Blue Grief Flow Dual Swordsmanship. Ascending Twin Dragons. And then, Blue Grief Flow Dual Swordsmanship. Descending Flying Bird. That day, they went out hunting monsters. By the way, testing the power of weapons with additional magic. Unexpectedly, they were ambushed by goblin-like creatures on the way, and they were armed with weapons made of steel. The male lead pretended to look scared. In fact, he had already sensed the enemy ambush, because the chi technique taught by Tao earlier included the ability to sense chi. The male lead, at every moment, could sense the surrounding chi through breathing. Although this is just basic chi technique, it is very convenient. Constantly sensing chi and activating barriers at any time. This guy is becoming increasingly difficult to deal with. Look, the battle is about to begin. The soldier just casually swung his weapon, cutting through everything like cutting through butter. Even the opponent's steel weapons are no exception. It's precisely because the weapons are too sharp. The soldiers are a bit at a loss. Some soldiers even act like children using a knife for the first time, afraid of hurting themselves. A handsome guy corrects. I sense the presence of monsters before arriving. Tao, the adventurer, has come to lend a hand. Tao sensed the aura of the handsome guy and came to help. The male lead almost spoke to her in the tone of Lowbird, whom he had transformed into before. Tao noticed that the male lead was using the breath of chi, thinking he must be Lowbird. No, that's not it. But this way of breathing. And they bear a subtle resemblance. Just as Tao had already discovered the clue, the maid suddenly interrupted her, warning her to be mindful of her boundaries with the male lead. Instantly, the air was filled with tension. Fortunately, the second prince intervened in time, avoiding a bloody conflict. Tao noticed that although the second prince looked similar to Lowbert, his aura was different from the handsome guy she sensed. The male lead also did not expect the breath-sensing technique to backfire. Tao's detection ability is even more precise than imagined. Before the monsters appeared, he decided to secretly hide in the tent. But as soon as he entered, the maid Shalufa tackled the male lead. He was curious why the maid was changing clothes in his tent. Because I will be sleeping with you in this tent tonight. The soldiers outside are all guards of His Highness Albert. The only person who can protect His Highness Lloyd is me. And the male lead just wants to be alone. Before he could even step out, he was caught in a tight scissor hold by Shalufa. He also mentioned that outside there was a mother cat even more troublesome than the monsters. That's right, the mother cat refers to Tao. What are you all doing? It's dangerous. Shalufa hadn't finished dressing yet when she kicked Tao out of the tent. The two of them started arguing outside over the male lead, and the soldiers on the side were getting more and more excited watching. The male lead took advantage of the chaos and sneaked out of the tent. That girl is looking at you with eyes that judge men. You are quite popular, Lord Lloyd. However, you should pay more attention to women at home. Because they can be really terrifying. Women are really, very scary. Yes. Tao came out this time because he received a commission to repair the shrine. Just as they were discussing to act together at dawn, suddenly, a bear wolf leaped out from the bushes. There's no need for a night watch anymore. It seems so. Is that the monster? The bear wolf's size and movements are very fast. Right, Guillermo? What's wrong with you? Compared to the ongoing battle, the demon pet is more interested in the shrine on the mountain. The second prince, using the magic-infused magic sword, delivered a full-force blow. Blazing fireball. With just one move, he instantly killed the bear wolf. The soldiers also cheered. I didn't expect the second prince to be so strong. However, he doesn't usually have this kind of strength. The key is still the male lead attaching various magic to his sword. Compared to the victory in battle, the demon pet suddenly remembered something more important. In the shrine on the mountain, a demon has been sealed. Before they could recover, the bear wolf unexpectedly resurrected. Surrounded by black lightning, it stood up again. Inferior humans. How dare you harm my kin? I am the demon Pazuzu. I will make you pay with your lives for this. Did he mention a demon? The demon has taken over the bear wolf's body, and is controlling a large number of monsters to attack the male lead and his group. What's even more unexpected is, the controlled monsters, even if fatally wounded, can heal themselves in a short time. This is the terrifying aspect of the demon's abilities. Although the demon pet doesn't know this demon, it can tell at a glance that it is manipulating the monsters by changing their properties using magic. Manipulating the monsters by changing their properties using magic. Controlling the opponent at will with threads of magic. Those bear wolves are influenced by the magic of property change. They see Pazuzu as a figure similar to their parents. That's why they follow his commands. Not only that, they also gain magical power through the magic threads, and their regenerative abilities are enhanced. It will be an endless battle if the demon is not defeated first. Teach me how to use property change. Now. After listening to the demon pet's explanation, the male lead became very interested in property change. Even though everyone else was fighting desperately, he insisted on learning this from the demon pet. Seeing that no one on the battlefield was a match for him, the demon became increasingly arrogant, even mocking that most were just grunts who relied on weapons. The rest were just inexperienced kids and caretakers. Even Sharufa couldn't sit still. Just one glance. The battlefield was enveloped by her powerful aura. Just as she approached the demon thought she was going to abandon the male lead and defect. He even considered taking her as a mate. In reality, Sharufa was almost knocked over by the foul odor emanating from the demon. It also hindered the male lead's ability to breathe fresh air. I think I'll just kill you. In the 2.5 seconds that everyone was stunned, the kin who had been burned to charcoal had completely healed. As long as the demon continued to infuse them with magic, they are essentially like having immortality. But trying to deplete the demon's magic is simply wishful thinking. His essence is a conglomeration of magic. Now that things have come to this, no matter how sad, you are all destined to die. No, I just find your aura repulsive. Please refrain from speaking. Sharufa. But in reality, it doesn't matter. Shouldn't you shed that fur coat of yours? Just as the demon began to repair his own body, the movements of the other monsters suddenly became sluggish. Their regeneration speed also slowed down. The group also understood that the demon concentrating magic to restore his body would expose vulnerabilities in the kin. Like this, the property change of magic is a very delicate technique. But Pazuzu cleverly transformed his magic into properties that the monsters favored. successfully maintaining control over the monsters. But for the demon to easily use this trick, it also requires a lot of practice. In any case, at the beginning, the most basic thing is to add color to the magic, then change the shape and scent. Success. The color is pink, the shape is a flower. I even added a scent. Isn't this level of completion too exaggerated? It's embarrassing. On the other hand, the male lead has also made some progress in learning magic property change. Not only can he condense magic into the shape of a flower, he can also emit a floral fragrance. Sharufa had just kicked the demon away and took away the soldier's weapons. This is the sword that Prince Lloyd bestowed magic upon. Completed. You have become so extraordinary. The demon realized she had been desperately protecting the male lead, thinking of first dismantling the male lead. He even taunted that he would likely become immature meat scraps. As soon as these words were spoken, the demon still didn't realize he was playing with fire. Sharufa was completely enraged. Humans are just so foolish. Just a slight provocation and they show their weaknesses. What are you going to do? Bluegrease's flowing dual sword technique. Ascending twin dragons. And then, Bluegrease's flowing dual sword technique. Descending flying bird. Just a lowly woman. Bluegrease's flowing dual sword technique. 2 tiger fangs. Rotten contents.